Hi, my name is Lilyen.
I love a boy named Gojin since primary school. But I traveled to another country because of my mom work.
I traveled with my twin sis Lillian and my big brother Axel to the new city with a new mindset. At first, I wanted to see Gojin, but I decided to look for a new guy and marry him. So now let's start. Chapter 1. The New City. When we arrived at the new city, I thought I was going to die. It's because I left my one and only Go-Go. We promised each other that we will never break up, and now I'm here without him. On top of that, I have to go to a new school, make new friends, and find new people I'm going to call family. Oh my God. As I was thinking about this, I felt a hand on my shoulder. It was my mom. Are you okay? You've been quiet since we arrived, she asked. I just forced a smile and said, yeah, I'm fine. Then I went to my room. I opened the window and looked out of it. I saw children playing outside. And it reminded me of the time when I used to play with Gojing after school.
We would stay outside until it's dark and then run home as fast as we can before our moms get mad. Good times. I sighed and laid down on my bed.
No more Gojing! I have to move on! The next morning, I woke up early and went downstairs to eat breakfast. My dad wasn't there. Of course. He never has been. When I was born, he decided to leave my mom. And well, we all know why. When my mom saw me, she forced a smile and said, "Good morning, sleepyhead. Today is your first day of school. Are you excited?" Yeah, sure. I lied. I wasn't excited at all, but I didn't want to disappoint her, so I acted like I was. After I ate breakfast, I went to my room to change into something nice. I put on a white shirt, a black skirt, and some nice shoes. Then I went downstairs again and waited for my mom to drive me to school. At school, I met my new homeroom teacher. She was really nice and introduced me to my new classmates. I felt a little shy at first, but they were all super friendly, so it didn't take long before I felt comfortable around them. They told me that there was a boy who liked me and wanted to introduce me to him during lunch break. Of course, I agreed. I mean, come on! There was a boy who liked me! That made me feel so good about myself. During lunch break, they took me to a table outside where they had already sat down. I looked around and saw a boy waving at me. He stood up and introduced himself. Hi, I'm Yoon Gi-hoon. Nice to meet you. I'm Lily. Nice to meet you too, I said with a big smile on my face. Over the next few weeks, Jahoon and I became really good friends. We started hanging out together almost every day after school. And we had so much fun. We went to the movies, played video games, and just talked for hours on end. He was so sweet and funny. And I could unhelp but feel like I was falling in love with him.
One day, while we were walking home from school together, we stopped at a little cafe to get some coffee.
As we sat down at a table outside the cafe, Jahoon took my hand and said, "Lily, I need to tell you something." "What is it?" I asked, my heart racing. I love you." "Will you be my girlfriend?" he asked. I couldn't believe what I was hearing.
Was this real, or was I dreaming?
The boy I had a crush on for so long finally liked me back. And he wanted to be my boyfriend. Yes, of course, I said, my eyes filled with tears. I couldn't believe how lucky I was. After school, I ran home as fast as I could to tell my mom the good news. When she heard that I had a boyfriend, she was over the moon. "Oh my God, I'm so happy for you," she said, hugging me tightly. "Who is he? Can I meet him?" "His name is Ji-ho, and he'll come over tomorrow to have dinner with us," I said, beaming. I couldn't wait for my mom to meet Jahoon. She was so excited. The next day, Jahoon came over for dinner, and my mom loved him. They talked for hours, and it was so nice to see them get along so well. After dinner, Jihoon and I walked home together, under the moonlight. We were both a little sad that our day was ending, but we knew we would see each other again tomorrow. "I had so much fun today," I said to Ji. "Me too. I'm glad you like my mom," he replied with a smile. "Of course, I do. You're the one who cooked, so how could I not like you?" I teased. He laughed and nudged me playfully. Hey, I did my best, he said, pretending to be offended. We walked a little more in silence, enjoying each other's company. As we approached my house, Jahoon turned to me and said, Lily, I want to tell you something. What is it? I asked.
My heart pounding.
I love you, he whispered. I love you too, I replied, my eyes meeting his. We stood there for a moment, lost in each other's embrace. And then he leaned in and kissed me. It was the most amazing kiss I had ever experienced. His lips were soft and warm, and it felt like I had known him forever. We pulled away from the kiss, both of us blushing. I should go now, Jahoon said, breaking the silence. Okay, I replied, my heart still racing. I'll see you tomorrow, he said with a smile. Bye, I whispered. As I watched him walk away, I couldn't help but smile. I was so happy to have found someone who loved me as much as I loved him. I knew that we were meant to be together. Chapter 2. University Life. After graduating high school, I went to university to study the thing I had always been passionate about, fashion design. Jahoon, of course, went to the same university as me, so we could be together. We had the time of our lives. We met so many new people, some of whom became our close friends. We studied hard, but also made sure to have fun. We went to parties, concerts, and even traveled to other countries together. Our love for each other only grew stronger with time. When we graduated from university, we were both offered jobs in the fashion industry. We decided to move in together and start our lives as young adults. We found a nice apartment in a great neighborhood and decorated it together. It was perfect. One day, while we were shopping for furniture, Jiho took me to a little corner store that sold kitchen appliances. I want to get you something, he said, smiling. What is it?
I asked, confused. He handed me a small box.
Open it,
he said.
I opened the box and saw a beautiful necklace inside. It was a simple silver chain with a small pendant. It's beautiful, I said, my eyes welling up with tears.
Put it on, he said,
Taking the necklace out of the box.
He then turned around so I could put the necklace on. I fastened the clasp around my neck and stepped back.
How does it look? I asked.
It looks beautiful on you, Jahoon said, his eyes locking onto mine. Will you marry me? He asked. My heart skipped a beat. Was this real? The boy I had fallen in love with in high school was now asking me to marry him.
Yes.
I whispered, tears streaming down my face.
Yes, of course.
He slipped the ring on my finger and hugged me tightly. I love you, he whispered in my ear. I love you too, I replied. We were so happy. We couldn't wait to start our life together. We set a date for the wedding and sent out invitations to all of our friends and family. Our wedding day was absolutely perfect. We had exchanged vows in a beautiful ceremony and had celebrated with our loved ones. It was a day that I will never forget. As the years went by, our love for each other only grew stronger. We had 2 beautiful children, a boy and a girl. Our life was perfect. Many years later, when our children had grown up and moved out of our house, Jahoon and I decided to take a trip down memory lane. We visited our old haunts, including the place where we had our first date. As we stood there reminiscing about the good old days, I couldn't help but feel grateful for everything we had. We had found love in each other at such a young age and had been together ever since. We had built a life together that we were proud of and had created memories that would last a lifetime. I knew that no matter what the future held, as long as we had each other, we would be okay. Thank you for listening to my Stry. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to their I am sure they are doing their best. Bye.